I just wanted a Skyform shaman, I didn't want this. It started about a year ago. I was currently obsessing over the fabled Skyform shaman. I really wanted to have one on my Pokemon Platinum version the moment I heard about it. However, I wasn't a very dedicated Pokemon fan at the time, and by the time I heard about the Skyform shaman, the event had already come and gone. I was devastated. My only chance at getting a shaman had already passed a long time ago. Then I realized I had one chance. Action replay. I rushed over and put the cheating device into my DS. I didn't bother to go online to search for a super long code that would give me the Oak's letter. So I just activated my Pokemon modifier code. I assumed it would have the same effect anyway. I went into the tall grass and ran around, holding the L button. A wild encounter started. A wild shaman appeared. I screamed out loud as I saw the hedgehog-like Pokemon appear. I opened my bag and threw one of my 492 Master Balls at it. Gotcha. Shaman was caught. I decided to give this shaman a nickname, like I always do to all my Pokemon. I named the shaman Sky, in honor of my Skyform shaman plushie. The shaman was added to my party because I had free spot reserved just for it. I also had to learn any TM-HM code activated. I wanted to teach it Fly, knowing it would become a Skyform. It would be a bit awkward having a Landform shaman knowing Fly, but having a Skyform would make up for that. I opened up the menu and got Sky to use Fly. I chose Floroma Town, home of the Gracidia flower. I moved my character over and talked to the blonde NPC who was supposed to give me the Gracidia flower. Do you know about Gracidia flowers? They're given as bouquets to express feelings of gratitude. It's an enduring tradition around these parts. What the heck? I thought. You're supposed to give me a Gracidia. I talked to the girl again. Do you know about Gracidia flowers? They're given as bouquets to express feelings of gratitude. It's an enduring tradition around these parts. What? No! I stared in agony at the screen. She wouldn't give me the Gracidia, so I couldn't get my beloved shaman to achieve its Sky form. I opened my shaman summary. I'm sorry, Sky. I tried. I murmured to the screen, even though I knew she couldn't hear me. A few months passed. I had played through Pokemon Platinum and gotten bored of it after I beat the game. I became attached to Pokemon Heart Gold. One fateful day, I started digging through my container holding my DS games. I found Pokemon Platinum. I blew a small amount of dust off the cartridge and put it into my DSi. My old DS is broken. And had been replaced with my new white DSi. The game started up. The first thing I did was go to my PC box to see all of my Pokemon. There were several good Pokemon, including legendaries. I want to start this game over, I had decided. It had been a shame if these Pokemon went to waste. I thought about it for a minute. I know. I'll trade these Pokemon over to Heart Gold. They'll be safe there. With the help of my sister's DSi, I traded my main team over, and then the legendaries, including Sky. Even more time passed. All of my Pokemon from Platinum just sat in my PC box. I had just gotten done with the Giovanni event battle, thanks to Celebi. I went over to my PC to put Celebi in there. Then I saw my legendaries box. Some were from Heart Gold, but most of them were from Pokemon Platinum. I quickly checked each one's individual summaries. Not many of these are legit, I noticed. I might as well release them. I released most of the cheated legendaries, including a cheated Celebi that I apparently found using the Pokemon modifier. There left 2 Shaman. Both cheated. I don't need 2. I selected one of the shaman. Sky. Release. Release this Pokemon? Yes. Sky was released. Sky sadly said farewell. Wait, what? Was it supposed to say that? I shrugged it off. I saved and turned the game off. It was late. I needed sleep. I started playing again the next day. I didn't do much. I just looked through the PC box again, and I was surprised to see what was there. There were 13 Sky Form Shaman in the Legendaries box. Surprised, I checked each one's summary. The first Shaman was named C. Its sprite looked terrified, and its cry sounded quiet. I honestly had no idea what was going on. I wasn't even sure if Sky Form Shaman could even go in a PC box without reverting back to land form. I moved on to the next Shaman. It was named H. Its cry was surprisingly loud. Its ears were bleeding. I kept moving through the Shaman, each getting more gory. Their skin started tearing away, exposing muscle, especially around its ears and front legs. The last Shaman, M, almost made me throw up. Its ears and front legs were completely gone. It was a bleeding mess. Its skin was torn completely off in places. I couldn't stand to look at it any longer. Then I checked over their names one more time. They were spelling out something. CHECKPLATINUM. Check Platinum. I hit the power button so hard I almost broke it. I quickly hid my DSi under my bed. I didn't touch it for the rest of the day. I woke up in the middle of the night, well, around 2 in the morning, to be exact. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't get back to sleep. I looked onto the bed to see my DSi sitting there. I debated for a moment whether to play it or not. I grabbed my DSi from under the bed, I got out of bed, and walked in the dark to turn the light on. I tripped over something soft and fell over. I scrambled to my feet and turned the light on. I looked over on the floor to see what I tripped on. It was my fuzzy landform Shaman plushie. I picked it up and stared at it. Get back in the Pokemon pile where you belong, I murmured, throwing it back in my large pile of Pokemon plushies. I walked over and looked in my container of DS games. I picked up Pokemon Platinum and put it in my DSi. I turned off the light, since the DSi had a backlight anyway. I got back on my bed and started up the game. I continued from Seabreak Path, the opening to Flower Paradise. I could have sworn I saved at a Pokemon Center. I tried to head back, but it was blocked, as if I used Walk Through Walls action replay code to get there. I had no Pokemon. The only thing I could do was proceed onward. It seemed to take a while getting to Flower Paradise by just walking, but I had grown used to the automatic running feature in Heart Gold, and didn't bother to hold down the B button. I continued walking for a good amount of time. Then I noticed a change in the water. It had a small reddish tint to it. The path also started to turn red. My stomach was starting to feel sick. As I proceeded onward, the path became more and more red. Eventually, the path was completely red. I started to think this was a bad idea. But something pressed me on to continue. A few steps later, the flowers started going away. I found something as I was moving up. It looked like a Pokemon's organs. I swallowed hard and continued on. More organs appeared along the path, as well as Pokemon bones. I finally made it to the edge of Seabreak Path. I took a step forward. The area wasn't called Flower Paradise. It was just called... In the middle of the area, there was a shaman. I moved my character over to it and dared to press the A button. I knew you'd come back. A wild battle started. Sky attacked. I had no Pokemon. The game treated it as if I were in the Great Marsh. What will Sarah throw? There was no mud, bait, or run options. I could only throw one item, Sky's Master Ball. I tapped the icon. Sarah used Sky's Master Ball. The ball shook once, twice, 3 times. Sky was caught. There was no exciting music for Sky's capture. I was returned to the overworld. I opened her summary. Her sprite was covered in blood with a sad yet angry expression. I closed out of her summary. She still knew fly. I tried to get her to fly me to somewhere else. Anywhere else. Sky doesn't want to fly. Come on, fly already, I yelled at the screen. Sky needs to get ready. Get ready? My menu automatically closed. Sky was with me on the overworld. She moved around the bloody area, stopping every once in a while. The screen faded to black. A text box came up. Sky is ready to fly. The screen faded back to the overworld. I nervously opened the menu, going to Sky's summary. Her eyes were pitch black with red pupils. She had bloody Skyform shaman ears, a bloody Skyform tail, and a bloody Skyform shaman's front legs. Her hind legs were stretched as far as they could, to be almost as long as the front legs. It looked like it hurt. Her normal pink flower was replaced with a torn Skyform shaman flower. A sick, twisted grin stretched across her face. The first half of her cry was landform, and the other half was Skyform. I quickly closed out of the screen. I noticed that I wasn't in Flower Paradise anymore. I was in a completely black overworld. There was my character, and she was standing next to Sky, who had a brand new overworld sprite to match her appearance. I turned my character to face her, and I pressed the A button. Do you like my new look? No, I don't like it. Sky started flying around. See? I can fly now. Will you love me now? Love me, her new cry sounded. Love me. The text got smaller. Her cry got quieter. Love me. The text shrank again. Her cry got even more quiet than before. This kept on. The text getting smaller to the point that I could barely read it, and her cry was so quiet that I almost couldn't hear it. Love me! Her cry blasted so loud that I almost thought I went deaf for a second. Do you love me? It gave me a yes and no option. No, I loved you at one point, but then you turned into this thing. You're lying. What? You still love me. You will always love me. You'll be mine forever. Sky forgot how to use fly, and Sky learned imprison. Sky used imprison. The screen cut to black. I tried hitting the buttons on my DSi, but it didn't do anything. I turned the game off. I took out Pokemon Platinum and threw the cartridge against the wall. It fell into the trash can. I'll never be yours, I muttered. I decided to play Heart Gold instead. I needed to get my mind off that cursed shaman. I started the game. My character was standing in complete blackness. A landform shaman with bloody Skyform ears, tail, and front legs was in front of my character. I told you that you'd be mine forever.